All right. If you want to succeed in life, if you want to succeed primarily in this truth, get that nigger woman out of your head.
Well, here we go. I wanted to make this video for a long time, right? This is a video about exactly what you heard it. All right. And watching this video, I try to give it a chance. I'm like, okay, maybe he's just talking about the mindset of men, of men having a feminine mindset, when it comes to the truth, when it comes to emotions, handling situations, and things of that nature, right? I keep trying to give it the video the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you have something important to say, right? Because if you don't know, this is the leader of GMS, Great Millstone Hebrew Israelite group, who say they have 100% truth, and they do have a lot of truth. But as you can see, the leaders, man, and not to put things inside of your head, or you can make your own determination at the end of the day. As you can see, there's 371 people who like this video. You see what I'm saying? Who probably proclaim to be the truth, and the truth being keeping the law, statute, commandments to the best of your ability, and faith in the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Right? That's the truth. You see what I'm saying? But this man, right, as you'll see as we continue on this video, he has a lot to say when it comes to black women. You see what I'm saying? His own sisters. You see? And I want you to bear with me with this video. I'm not coming in the spirit, of woman pandering or something of that nature. How dare he talk about the black women? You see what I'm saying? That's not the spirit I'm coming in. Like I said, make your own determination for yourself. I'm just here to point these things out, through the strength and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I'm just here to point these things out to you, brothers and sisters. Hopefully the Lord gives you the eyes to see the mindset and the evil and the hypocrisy and the things that embodies these men, right? Like I said before, get the nigga woman out of your head. And you would think he's talking about the mindset of men. Stop thinking feminine, and he does bring that point up throughout the video. But you'll see for yourself that it quickly takes a turn to just degrading his sisters, man. And it's very disturbing. It's very disgusting. Like I said, this is a leader of a congregation. People look up to this man. You see, Christians like to say, "What would JC do in particular situations?" And I want you to ask yourself, what would your Messiah, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, do? Would he speak the way this man is speaking? This is how you know Yahweh Shai does not dwell within these people, man. Okay? Instead of praying for his sisters, okay, because there's 1/3 there's 1/3 that's going to be saved now. There's 1/3 that's going to be saved. Okay? Instead of praying for them, instead of, what I'm saying, maybe things of that nature, he's basically throwing them all away. And actually, he's telling you to join yourself unto the heathen instead. Okay? And scriptures totally go against that. Right? But let's get into the video. Let's see the mindset. I might kind of skip around a little bit, but just bear with me and make the determination for your own self. Let's get into it.
Again, I'm talking to you brothers that are in the faith. Let me start by saying all praises and glories due to Yahweh Ba'ashib Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Shalom to the elect, the brothers and true sisters of the household of faith. And that being said, let me preface this message by saying I'm not talking about the sisters who are trying to do right in this faith, who are trying to do right, which there are very, very, very few of them. Okay, I'm not talking to you. All right?
That's what he says at the beginning, but let's keep going just to see his mindset.
This message is not to belittle you. All right? I'm talking about the rest of you women with that feminist, combative attitude, especially you so-called black women. Okay? All right? Those are the women that you brothers got to watch out for. Okay? And the message is very simple. Get that nigger woman out of your head. You brothers would do a lot better in this knowledge, this truth, if you would get that nigger woman out of your head. The reason why you have a problem with leadership in the ministry is because you got that nigger woman in your head. Okay, you learned that shit from the nigger woman. because you were raised by her. All of us were, okay? But there's a point in time where we have to become men. In Isaiah 46:8, it says, remember this and show yourselves men. Now, you can't become a man of the Lord if you got that nigger woman in your head. All right?
And this is what I was talking about. You see, it sounds like a good message, right? A lot of brothers were raised by single mothers, all right, and they think very femininely, right? And I could agree with that, and I could test that. I deal with family situations like that where I deal with feminine men all the time, right? Because they were raised by single mothers. You see what I'm saying? And it would be a beautiful lesson if that was the case of this video, right? But if you keep listening to it, like I said, what you could kind of allude to already, he has a lot of disdain to his own people, man, to his own people, right? I don't want to play this whole video, but hopefully we could get to the point here pretty soon.
All right? So the first thing you got to do, and believe you me, I practice what I preach. The first thing you got to do is get that nigger woman out of your head. Then you'll see clearly. Then you'll begin to think clearly. Then you'll begin to be a man. You'll begin to think like a man. You'll begin to act like a man. Okay? You learn to take orders. Because for you to give orders, you got to know how to take orders. Okay? Being in this ministry, there's certain times that you have to take orders. An order is given to you, you follow the order, and you do it, okay? Now, of course, I'm talking about a common sense order. I'm not talking about an order coming from a person of unsound mind. I'm talking about an order coming from a brother in the faith that is of sound mind. You know, some of us, we get all emotional when we get an order. You know, that nigger woman goes off in our head. Who does he think he's talking to? He can't talk to me like that. That's that nigger woman in your head. And you got to get that nigger woman out of your head, because she's notorious for that. The nigger woman is notorious for not taking orders, for being combative. All right?
Here we go. We're starting to get into it.
For being disrespectful, for being flippant. She's notorious for that. The whole world knows this. So many of us were raised by the so-called black woman, and we were given that contagion, all right? So we gotta decompress, man. We gotta get rid of that contagion, okay? And that's our first step to becoming a man, okay? And I'm talking about your mother. It begins with your mother, all right? I remember when I was coming up under my mother, some of the stuff she would say, I had to look at her like, what? You know, I'll never forget the time where I was cursing this chick out over the phone. I was cursing her out, a royal curse out. Some chick I was dealing with. And my mother, after I got off the phone, she looked at me, she said, you shouldn't talk to women like that. It's not good to talk to women like that. And I remember looking at her like, what? And I had to be around 16 years old. Okay? So it starts with our mothers, man. Okay? See, if we were raised by real, let's say we were raised from a little boy, right? We were raised by real tough, manly men. Man, could you imagine the kind of spirit we would have? All right, we would have that spirit, like a person look at you like, say, I ain't messing with this guy, you know? Everything about you would be manly, you know? And you would command respect. You see? But sadly enough, we weren't. You know, many of us were raised by the so-called black woman, man. I'm talking to you brothers, right? And then the women, you know, the rest of the women of our nation. But mainly, I'm focusing mainly on the so-called black woman. And brothers that have been victims of her. You got to get her out of your head, man. You know, you got to get her out of your head. A lot of you brothers in the faith, the reason why you don't do videos like you're supposed to is because you got that nigger woman in your head. I'm telling you. If the nigger woman bark an order at you, you'll follow it. You won't even question it. You'll follow it. All right? She Hey, what does the scripture say? It says, of the beginning of women came sin, and through her we all died. And that's talking about the so-called black woman. That's talking about Eve. That was a known saying in the book Nature. I believe it was Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. It says, of the beginning of women came sin, and through her we all died. And that's talking about the so-called black woman. That's talking about Eve. That was a known saying in the book Nature. I believe it was Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. There's a passage in that book where it says it was a well-known saying among the Jews.
Instead of saying, through woman, what I'm saying, was the beginning of sin, which is true, by the way. Instead of saying, through woman was the beginning of sin, what does he say? He says, through the black woman, we all die. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his own people we're talking about, right? But like I said, it gets worse than that, man. Let's just keep getting into it. This is just one little snippet at the beginning of the bereavement that's about to happen right here.
Right? During the Babylonian Empire, they used to quote that. All right? Of women came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. We were all brought down. We were all taken down from our power through that woman. Okay? I'm talking about Eve, the so-called black woman. Okay, and that's scriptural. So it's the same thing now. It's the same thing now, man. Women in general will destroy you if you let them, if you don't control them. That's why they have to be controlled. But especially that so-called black woman, man. You know why many of these jakes are in jail or are in the grave? You got it, because of the so-called black woman. All right? They live their life trying to please the so-called black woman. And there's no pleasing her. It's almost impossible to please her. All right? And she's miserable. She's contentious. All right?
So-called black woman is miserable. She's contentious. It's impossible to please her. And there's a lot of brothers in jail because of black women. Right? Not women who have a destroyed mindset. Not women who, who drank that Babylonian juice, that feminine mindset. Instead of, giving the picture of what it is, which is the truth, by the way. Because regardless if it's a black woman or not, you see what I'm saying? Once a woman is of a degenerate nature, you see what I'm saying? Same thing with the Latin, same thing with the whites. Once they have that mindset of degeneracy, all right, they're gonna bring hell. They're gonna bring contention. You see what I'm saying? But you can see how he's singling out the black woman for a lot of the problems. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, there is a lot of issues and problems with black people in general, and the Lord already highlighted that 2 out of 3 of them aren't gonna make it. You see what I'm saying? But to paint a broad picture, and as you'll see once we continue this video, how he is basically pushing your brothers to leave your sisters alone, black woman, quote unquote, and join yourself unto the heathen. Like I said, the scriptures clearly go against that. You see, so this is the picture that he's trying to paint, the narrative that he's trying to give. All black women is bad. Stay away from them in general because they'll mess you up. Okay, they'll lead you astray from the truth. When actually it's contrary to that. The heathen will lead you astray from the truth. All right. Instead of telling brothers and sisters go, preference black women. Okay, which are the standard of beauty according to the scriptures, right? Meaning God's image. He's telling you leave them alone in general. They're all bad. They're all jacked up, and they would leave. Like, come on, man. It's just total. Like, you'll see, man. The video it would explain itself. All because of his experience. He's pushing that on the brothers and sisters, right? Like I said, these groups have truth, man. But it's this leaven. It's a sprinkling of leaven. It will get you jacked up. The devil knows scripture now. These little nuggets of leaven is gonna get you messed up, man. And you can see the evil within this guy, man. He hates his own sisters. Let's keep going.
She's just no good. It is what it is. And if anything, social media has showed you that, if you've been paying attention. Now, us brothers that's been calling to this knowledge, this truth, we're supposed to be on a higher level. We're supposed to see through bullshit like that. So you're supposed to come to the realization that, you know who's holding me back? The so-called black woman. And get her out of your head.
Like I mentioned earlier, man, Like you would think the video is talking about leaving that feminine mindset that you learned from your mother or grandma or whoever, leave that alone and become a man, a true man of God. You would think that that's the message he's trying to preach. But like I said before, we're about almost halfway through this video, you see the turn that it's making. Leave the black woman alone. Leave the black woman alone. She's nothing. She's no good, right? And I still find it hard to believe that 371 people like this video, right? Let's keep going.
I'm telling you, get her out of your head. You want to be successful in this knowledge, this truth, spiritually, get her out of your head. She's not helping you, she's destroying you, okay? She is not helping you, she is destroying you. And I'm speaking based upon experience. And here's a news flash for you brothers. We don't need them. They need us. We don't need them, man. We carry the seed. Have you not read the scripture? As a matter of fact, let me go to the scripture for you. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. We're the precious ones, us men, and we don't need them. We don't need the so-called black woman. We don't need her. She needs us.
Here we go, man. Can you imagine if Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who's up, Messiah, right? Like I said before, Christians say, what would JC do? What would JC say? What would Yahweh Shai do? What would Yahweh Shai say? Would he utter something like this? We don't need our sisters, man. We could join ourselves onto the heathen. We could repopulate the nation. Which is true, by the way. It's through the father's bloodline, through the father's seed, is how the nation, repopulates. You see what I'm saying? But what about our sisters? Do we just throw them away? Are they all just washed up and degenerates? No, that's not true at all, right? Instead of telling brothers and sisters, like I said before, do not join yourself onto these degenerate women, regardless of tribe or whatever. It's, avoid all degenerate women who have that Babylonian mindset, women with that feminine mindset, women who think they're above the man. Get yourself a submissive woman, right? There's plenty of black women in Africa, the Caribbean, all throughout the world. Does he say that? No, he doesn't say that. He says to leave them all alone. They're all bad. They're going to mess you up, take you away from the truth, right? And I actually put a comment on here I wanted to highlight as well. And they actually deleted one of my comments, right? This is what I said, okay? And we're going to keep going through the video here, but I wanted to just show the hatred for your own people is insane. Sorry you had a bad experience with the nigger woman, and he's going to get into that. But don't push that on brothers. There's plenty of decent black women in Caribbean, Africa, even in Babylon. If anything, you should tell them to prefer Eve. You see what I'm saying? Now, that would be hatred, telling them to prefer Eve. Thank goodness for that traumatic experience I've suffered at the hands of the nigger woman, so I can impart some sound wisdom to my true brothers. And he got three likes on that. Now, mind you, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. You see what I'm saying? So, whatever wickedness that he had received from that woman, that was his portion from the Lord. You got to keep those things in mind. All right? And he says here, I'll push whatever I want on my channel, capiche? All right? Because I'm telling him he's pushing to stay away from the black woman. And we're going to keep going to the video. And then my comment that that they deleted for some reason, I put, there's, like I said, there's good black women all throughout. 1 out of 3 of them are going to be worthy enough to be saved from the Lord. So to say that all of them are bad or just to stay away from them in general, that's kind of jacked up, man. Right? And in the comment that I put, I said, instead of telling them to, like I said before about 3 times now, instead of telling them to avoid Babylonian, Western mindset, feminist type of women, right, which is the cause of all our problems, those are the women that's going to give you true hell. He says to avoid them in general, because regardless of who you decide to lay to, if you lay with one of these degenerates, Western, Babylonian / modern women, you're going to catch hell. Why? Because they're not submissive and they think themselves better than the man. But instead of preaching that message, he's giving a message of leave the black woman alone altogether. Hating his own people, right? No love for your sisters, man. No love whatsoever. We're going to keep going, right? Like I said before, man, get your own conclusion out of the matter. This is the leader. And is this the spirit Yahweh Shai HaMashiach will have towards his sisters? You be the judge of that.
All right? She needs us. We don't need her. We can go and lay down with any other nation, all right, and bring back our seed, bring back our kind, because we carry the seed, us men. Now, once you understand that revelation, then you begin to get the so-called black woman out of your head. She's not the precious one. You are, brother. You are the precious one, not her. Don't let that illusion, all right, destroy you, man. That these women are precious. They're not precious. The men are precious. 1 Corinthians 11:8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. See that? You know how profound that is? For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. The woman came from our seed, from our nutsack. All the woman is an incubator. That's all she is. Okay? And one thing I learned from dealing with my mother when I came into the truth, I learned that even your own mother, she's just another woman. Of course, you show her respect. That's scriptural. It says, honor thy father and thy mother. But at the end of the day, your mother is just another woman. Okay? Filled with emotions. They reason by emotions. You know, they don't reason by facts. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get that nigger woman out of our heads. Okay? 1 Corinthians 11:8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Now, feminism has destroyed that. Okay, feminism teaches you the exact opposite. It's all about the woman put on a pedestal. You remember that song by Jaheim, which you don't even hear about him anymore. He's probably working at McDonald's, or probably he got a job at UPS, because he damn sure ain't out there on the charts, burning up the charts like he used to. Anyway, the point is, he did a song called Put That Woman First. And look at his life, all right? Yeah, put that woman first, all right. That's that feminism crap. That's that feminism bullshit, okay? And some of you brothers, you come into this knowledge, this truth with that mentality. Put that woman first. You haven't gotten that nigger woman out of your head, man. And that's why you're not doing your videos. That's why you're not doing what you're supposed to do. That's why you're slothful. Okay? Put that nigger woman out of your head, man. She's not the precious one. She's not the prize. You are. Focus on your path. And anyone that's hindering you from your path, get them away from you, especially the so-called black woman, if you're dealing with her, which you shouldn't be dealing with her anyway. You know why a lot of brothers deal with the so-called black woman is because they don't believe in themselves.
Here we go now. Here's the true colors coming out, man. All right. If you don't believe in yourself, because if you're dealing with a black woman, all right, if you decide to love your people, love your sisters, all right, and you got yourself a good one, a decent one. You're not seeking these degenerates you see on TikTok and Instagram and all these things. All right. Like I said before, 1 out of 3 of them is predestined to be saved. Now there's some good ones, right, in every nation, right? But like if you're following this man, what did he say? If you have a black woman, it's because you don't believe in yourself. Isn't that just ridiculous, man? Let's keep going. Let's see if he explains himself, and I'm just full of it.
All right. Even dating statistics proves it, that they're the least desired woman among women. All right. It is what it is, man. Okay. So if you want to be successful spiritually in this thing of ours, get that nigger woman out of your head. Okay. That's the smartest thing you can do. All right. Because there's nothing really good about them. Okay. And they've made it so, man.
There's nothing really good about them, you brothers and sisters. This video is just disgusting, man. I don't know how, like 371 people like this video. They must be bots or drones or just mindless people who don't think for themselves, right? Whatever the quote unquote apostles say, we're just gonna do. Not look into it, not think about it, not think about it for ourselves, not pray about it. You see what I'm saying? This is just ridiculous, man. Yes, it's true that black women are probably the least desirable. If you put black women, you put them in any country, they're probably going to be the last picked, because there's a stigma attached to them, right? Because there is a lot of degeneracy. 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3. You see what I'm saying? But like I said before, to paint all sisters like that with a broad stroke is very, very disgusting, man. You see, and this video, like I said before, man, is not to pander to women or to be emotional, but this is supposed to be a leader of the congregation, right? And he's telling brothers and sisters, well, I should say he's telling brothers, man, there's nothing really good about them. Just leave them alone. Let's keep going.
All right? They have made it so. There's only a few of them. I mean, a precious few that have the right temperament, the right mentality that us men that are in this knowledge of truth can deal with. Very few. But the majority of them, whether they be them ghetto slags or them so-called, what do you call it? Went to not high school, but went to college and so-called educated, so-called black woman. They're both dysfunctional. All right, and I'm talking about the ghetto slags and the ones who claim that they're educated. They're both dysfunctional, and they don't add to this. And I'm talking to you brothers that are in the faith. They don't add to this thing of ours. They take away from it. So the smartest thing you can do is get that nigger woman out of your head. You know, all these silly emotions that us men have, we learned that from women, man. Especially those of us who've been raised by the so-called black woman. Okay? Now, fortunately for me, in my household, my father was the king. He laid down the law. That is absolute truth. Okay? And I watch how my father operated with my mother. He didn't take her bullshit. Okay, he's a typical so-called West Indian. Those are facts, and I saw it in the house. I used to get away with shit from my mother that I couldn't with my father, because my father was like super vigilant. He'd know I was up to some bullshit, and he checked me on it quick. All right, these are facts. I'm telling you, these are facts. So I saw it in my house. So I know for a fact that a lot of you brothers, your downfall is you can't get that nigger woman out of your head. You can't get her out of your head. Get her out of your head. A lot of you brothers are going to perish because of these women, especially so-called black women. She's going to cause you to lose your crown. She's going to cause you to fall out the truth. And here's the thing. When you're dealing with a woman and she's causing you to fall out the truth, let's say you do fall out the truth to please her, she's going to leave you. Right after you fall out the truth, she's going to leave you. She's like a virus. She destroyed you. Now she's going on to the next guy. Smarten up, man. Say it like a mobster. Smarten up. Get that nigger woman out of your head. I'm telling you, that's the smartest thing you can do. Get that nigger woman out of your head. You'll become more productive, especially in this knowledge, this truth. You'll study more. You'll do more videos. You'll be more focused if you just get that nigger woman out of your head. How else could I put it? Hey, some of you brothers, that's how you got to be talked to rough, man. Hey, Israel, we're rough people. The Lord said the harder they make their foreheads, the harder we make our foreheads. Now what? Okay? We don't believe in no fucking PC crap, man. Politically, we don't practice that bullshit here. We speak candidly and openly. Candidly and openly. If you get emotional by it, if you get butthurt by it, oh well. I don't know what to tell you, but see, that goes back to the nigger woman. We should be men. We should be able to speak to men as men. Okay? But again, we learn all that bullshit from the so-called black woman. She's doing a masterful job for the so-called white man. Esau. our main enemy. Okay? The so-called white man, Esau, he got your woman. He got her mind. Okay? And he's using her against you, so-called black man, to destroy you. Again, I'll say it again, and these are facts. Many of the men that you see in jail or in the or dead, all right, it was over a so-called black woman. Facts. Okay? So think about that, man. Anyway, I think I've said enough. If you found this video, I'm speaking to you brothers, right? Again, I wasn't speaking to your sisters who's trying to do right. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you brothers that have a sound mind. If you felt that you were edified by this video, let me know in the comment section. All right? Now, all of you that disagree, just keep your opinions to yourself. All right? I'm speaking based on fact. You want to be successful in this ministry? Get that nigger woman out of your head.
I mean, that's basically it, man. Like I said before, I hope you came to your own conclusion, right? You could easily have said, like I said before, about a couple times, man, avoid westernized women, Babylonian mindset women, feminist women, women who think they're better than a man, right? As a blanket statement, regardless of what type of nationality. Well, I want to say nationality because you should be sticking to your own people, right? But regardless of what tribe or what skin tone or what color, if they're submissive and loving and things of that nature, okay, then if she's pleased to dwell with, all right. But at no time, okay, during this video, did he ever make reference to that? It's basically just avoid the nigger woman, get the nigger woman out of your head, all right. They're gonna pull you down. They're gonna berate you, make you get locked up, and a lot of these things are true, right? Men chasing after women have died, have went to jail, all right, has fallen out of the truth, okay, because he's after the woman, and the woman is not into the truth. She doesn't like the Bible. Maybe she's Muslim, into Islam or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So she's into that. So the man is following her instead of trying to follow God, which is true. But like I said before, it's regardless of what type of woman it is. If you're chasing after these modern westernized women, you're gonna fall into the snare. You're gonna catch hell. You see what I'm saying? And he could have clearly said that, but like I said, during the entire video, it was just an attack. What it seemed like towards black women in general. And if you have one, it's because you don't believe in yourself. And I'm not making these things up. Now he might try to sugarcoat it and make it seem like he was talking about just the brothers having a mindset of a feminine mindset. So situations, you can't take orders because you're feminine. You got that feminine mindset that you was taught to by your mother. But like I said, regardless of what color, you see what I'm saying, what tribe you are, that's gonna occur within any people group. All right. Now, the quote unquote black woman, all right, they've been subjugated for hundreds of years, all right, captivity after captivity, right? Especially in this last captivity, which has been the most heinous, right? The men removed out of the household, gangster rap and drugs and alcohol and all these things. I mean, this is the result of generations of trauma, right? And like I said before, it's not 100. It's not totally like they're responsible for their own actions at the end of the day, but the environment that they were placed in plays a big factor of why they act the way they act now. All right, a lot of women were forced to be the men of the household, right? And the women are emotional, so how can they possibly lead young men to be men when they're emotional? All right, a lot of women were forced to be that provider, that nurturer, and caretaker, right? Because the wicked has removed the men from the house. You see what I'm saying? So you can't just pay instead of praying. Like I said before, this is a leader of a congregation. Instead of praying for them, instead of what I'm saying, uh, uh, um, telling brothers and sisters just to avoid just the modernized, westernized, no father figure type of woman, and just a broad picture of just avoid black women altogether because you don't believe in yourself and because they suck, right? If I'm wrong, man, put it in the comments. I mean, that's what I got. You try to paint it in a picture of get her out of your head that mindset. But you can see in general, right behind the scenes a little bit, he's talking about black women and how much they're terrible. right? Like this is like I said, this is a leader of congregation, man. It's just one of the little leaven, like the sprinkle. Let's get some scriptures real quick, right? Second Peter chapter 1 and starting verse 6. And to the knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. For if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of the Lord. But he that lacketh these things is blind, and cannot see afar off, and hath forgotten that he was purged from his old sins, right? He was forgotten that he's purged from his old sins. Yeah, but the environment that these black women are in, the majority, 2 out of 3, are degenerates, are not going to make it according to the Most High God and His Word, right? But the 1/3 out of them are probably going to be doing the right thing, or having faith, or you know what I'm saying, worthy of being saved, right? And if anything, you should be pushing brothers to to get you a woman who have some of these qualities, a woman who is submissive and kind and nurturing. And to say the majority of them aren't like that is true, but there's plenty that are. And like I said before, everything is spiritual, everything happens for a reason. A wicked woman is given a portion to a wicked man. So if you run into these black women, if you join yourself onto them, chances are you need to look at yourself, because you're the one that's wicked. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Like, where's your brotherly kindness towards your own people? Second Ezra 3 and 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, not the heathen. All right? And this is not the first time, it may not be in this video, but it's not the first time. Many of the quote unquote apostles and elders and GMS tell you to join yourself unto the heathen instead of the black woman, all right? Leave the black woman alone. F them. They ain't nothing. They ain't no good. And if you got one, it's because you don't believe in yourself. You could do better. You could get a white woman, right? Like these, you can't tell me that's not the spirit that these brothers are coming in, right? And I've heard it before, because I used to listen and follow these brothers. You see what I'm saying? Second Ezra 10:21. For thou seest that our sanctuary is laid waste, our altar broken, our temple destroyed. Our psaltery is laid on the ground. Our song is put to silence. Our rejoicing is at an end. Our light, the light of our candlestick, is put out. The ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled, and the name that is called upon us is almost profane. Our children are put to shame. Our priests are burnt. Our Levites are gone into captivity. Our virgins defiled. Our wives ravished. Our righteous men carried away. Our little ones destroyed. Our young men are brought into bondage, and our strong men are become weak. Right? And which is the greatest of all, the seal of Zion hath now lost her honor, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. Right? So where is the spirit? Like, this is the spirit of Ezra, man. You see what I'm saying? He's mourning for his people, for the lowest state that they're in. All right? Where's this brother's mourning for his sisters, all right? For his brothers, because it's not just the sisters too. It's 2 out of 3 of the men as well who are jacked up. All right? Our people are jacked up to their lowest state, and it's pains to see them drugged out on the streets. It's pains to see the women at the gas station shaking and showing off their bodies, selling themselves, right? Prostitution, all these things, man. It's a shame and it's sad, all right? All we can do is basically shake our head, you see what I'm saying? But we pray, of course, to the Most High God that the Lord takes them out of that. You see what I'm saying? And if they're worthy to get this truth and knowledge and predestined to be saved, they'll come out of it, right? But this is not the spirit. They don't have the same spirit as Ezra, right? They're not mourning for their people. It seems like they just say F them, right? F them. Let's keep going. This is Zechariah 13:9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined. I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call upon my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God, Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? A third is going to be saved, man. So it's very disgusting, to paint all black women with that same brush of being degenerates, of being nasty, of pulling you down away from God. All women who are not in the scriptures, who don't have the spirit on them, they're going to probably pull you away. Satan is going to come on them, demons are going to come on them, and rile you up, try to get you out of spirit. It's true. All right, if you're looking for a woman, you should probably be a woman who have that inkling of faith to believe in the Bible. All right, maybe you could build her up, through the strength and power of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. You see what I'm saying? Leave the model woman, the westernized woman, the Babylonian woman, the feminist woman, the witches and the astrologers and all. Leave those women alone, regardless of what tribe they're from. All right. That's what that video should be saying. Get the feminine mindset out of your mind and leave those type of women alone. All right, those are the ones that are going to tear you down. You see what I'm saying? Second Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. You see what I'm saying? So some of the damnable heresies that we constantly hear about is joining yourself unto the heathen, right? And if you got a black woman, you don't believe in yourself, so you could clearly get a different type of woman who is more submissive, right? A different type of woman who's more submissive, who um who are raised properly, like the white woman, like the Asian woman. Like those women they're not the black women, they're not degenerate. So go ahead and join yourself onto them. But the Lord our God, He told us to not to deal with these type of women, right? Deuteronomy chapter 7, starting at verse 1. And when the Lord thy people, when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou shalt go to possess, and had cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, Jebusites, 7 nations, greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give to thy son, nor his daughter shalt thou not take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. You see what I'm saying? So what's something that they like to say? Like I said before, they'll be like, "Oh, this is only talking about this specific instance." You see what I'm saying? When they came into the land, only at the time it was talking about not making marriages with them. Okay, but you'll see some of these other scriptures that this scripture, Deuteronomy 7, was referenced a few times, other than when the children of Israel just came into the land. This is First Kings, chapter 11. But King Solomon loved many strange wives, right? Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, the women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites, right? Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they shall turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. So this is referencing to Deuteronomy 7. The Lord our God said, hey, leave these damn heathen nations alone, because surely they will turn you away from following me. Right? For when it came, verse 4, for when it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wife turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was David heart of his father. For Solomon went after Ashereth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Amorites. And Solomon did evil inside the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord as David his father. You see what I'm saying? So something that you'll do when you join yourself into these heathen, man, eventually you're gonna smooth out your edges for love. All right? Because you love your woman so much. She's a Muslim, she's Islamic, she wants to praise Allah. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna set up whatever they need to set up in the corner of the house. All right? You can join yourself into a Asian woman, a Chinese woman. All right, you love her so much, you don't want to see her sad. You're gonna set up a little Buddha statue in the corner of the house. You see what I'm saying? Or you're gonna allow her to do these things when the answer is no. The answer is no. Surely they shall turn you away from following me. You're gonna allow certain things as time goes on. All right, they might wear you down. Versus joining yourself into a woman who have that inkling of faith, who believes in the Bible, and something that you could build a foundation on and work with them to the strength and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. But these brothers will push you toward the heathen more than they will push you toward your own brother. That push you towards your own sisters. They tell you to leave them alone because you don't believe it. If you got one, you don't believe in yourself. Right? This is Ezra chapter 10. Now when Ezra had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down from before the house of God, they assembled unto them out of Israel a very great congregation of men and women and children, for the people who wept very sore. And Shechaniah, the son of Jeiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, We have trespassed against our God, and have taken strange wives of the people of the land. Yet there is no hope in concerning these things. Right? Now let us make a covenant with our God to put away all the wives, and such as are born of them according to the counsel of the Lord, and those that tremble at the commandment of our God. Let it be done according to the law. You see what I'm saying? So they have trespassed against the Lord our God by what? Taking unto them strange wives of the land. Okay, and we see that time and time again. Out of the nations, the Lord said, "Leave these people alone, for surely they shall turn you away from their hearts." Right? Did the Lord not say that in Deuteronomy 7? And also is referenced in First Kings, as King Solomon did that. And now, in Ezra in the Babylonian captivity, you see it happening again. It's a commandment to not take unto thee strange wives, for surely they shall lead you away from the Most High God. Oh, brother, but what about Ruth, Naomi? Okay, but the difference between that is that they fully submitted themselves under the God of Israel. I will follow your God, I will follow your statutes and your commandments and be in your household. But this is not happening here. All right, they're going to keep their gods. They're going to set up their altar and their statue and do them things, and you're going to allow it. You're going to round off your edges. The Lord is not telling us to do these things, man. First John 2 and 9. And to wrap this all up, man, he that said he is the light and hated his brother is in darkness, even until now. Right? So this man right here, man, like I said before, just to wrap this whole thing up, he's telling you, brothers and sisters, that leave the black woman alone. All right? Leave her alone. She's no good for you. She's a degenerate. She's abomination. And if you got one, it's because you don't believe in yourself. Why? Because you could get something else. You could get something better. These other nations are better. They have sound mind. They were raised right. All right. I mean, that's what they're talking about. If you're following these men long enough, that's gonna keep this reoccurring thing. It's gonna keep occurring. But I'm here to tell you, no, there's plenty of beautiful black women, man, that through the strength and power of your Yahweh Shem Yahshai could lead in your direction. All right. Anyway, I hope this was a little highlight of what's going on with these leaders, man. It's not the only one. Okay, I'm convinced all these guys are set up. All right, sprinkling leaven here and there to make you go off one way or the other. All right, hopefully you come to your own conclusion. If I'm jacked up, put it in the comments. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions on it. All right, he had a bad experience dealing with black women, so now he's saying for you to leave them alone based on his experience. Anyway, I hope this was edifying, man. Love your people, man. It's not that difficult. All right. And this is not the spirit of what Yahushua will be in, telling you to basically cast away, throw half of your people away. Anyway, hopefully this is edifying. Peace be unto you. Shalom.
And now